my inky friends, it's Cindy Lynn with My Inky Fingers. Thank you so much for joining me today on my YouTube channel and blog, and if you're new here, welcome. Today I've got a fun, I almost want to call it clean and simple, but I got my splatters in there so it's not so clean, but it's super simple kind of birthday card, and you can use this for masculine, feminine, change the colors. You do you, it's your card. So I've got out 3 different ink pads in Crumb Cake, Night and Navy, and Pumpkin Pie, and the re-inkers. And I've got that little water thingy bottle there. It was a stevia bottle, and I just soaked the label off and I put water in it because I'm going to need water, and I find this is the best way to add water to my ink pad lids. So I've got out my water brush. Do you still want to call it an aqua painter? I sure do. I've got out my water brush and my water. And you know, that crumb cake totally looks green. It almost looks like an old olive, but trust me, it's going to come out crumb cake when it dries. So it's got kind of a green back to it, right? Now, what I'm doing here is I've got some scratch paper, and I'm just kind of playing because I want to see what kind of mark I want my watercolor, if you will, to look like. And I thought I kind of wanted the check marky, and then I was like, eh. So I'm dabbing off some of my ink here, and I'm just showing you my process. I'm not going to stick with this, but I'm showing you my process and the fact that it doesn't always come to me. I've got to play a little bit too. And this just, it wasn't looking right. I wasn't feeling this at all. So paper has 2 sides. I'm going to flip it over. And I make a big mistake later, and I couldn't flip it over, so I had to start again on one of them, but that's okay. So here, I thought I'm just going to put the water brush flat down and then kind of flick it over to the side so that it starts dark and then it kind of lightens up. And I was much, much happier with that. And the nice thing with this is you can go over it a second time if you want to make it darker or whatnot. So I'm just going to do that 4 times, and I'm not going to tap off any of this ink off of this water brush for the crumb cake because I liked that color there. So I liked the way it looked on the scratch paper. Now the Night of Navy, this Night of Navy was not my friend today, you guys. I had a major explosion with this ink pad. I'm going to show you guys that after. But now here, the Night of Navy, I put it on the bottom, as you could see. I flipped over all of my card fronts so that I had the flicks going opposite directions. As you notice there, I forgot to mention it, but I'm going to flip them all back over, and I'm going to get that crumb cake on the one that I've only got the Night of Navy on, and do it on the right end. There you go. Almost made another mistake. But now I flipped them all back so that when I come in with the pumpkin pie, and you can see too, I'm adding water as I go, and just add your water and then use it on your scratch piece of paper, your water brush, to see if you've got the right consistency. And as a tip here, okay, don't worry about how much water you put in your lids for the ink purposes. Worry about how much water's in your lids before you close your ink pad, because all of that is going to now, gravity's going to want to make it come out somehow, and that's why I had a huge mistake. So I was playing here to see what I wanted to do, and I got a blob of that pumpkin pie there on the 3rd card or 2nd card, whatever way you're looking at it from. But you know what? I actually liked it. I liked that happened. It just kind of made it a little bit more organic, and you know, I was like, hey, it's not perfect and I love it. So I went over with the pumpkin pie another time and with the Night of Navy, okay? So here, you know what? Somebody just mentioned to me on my video that I posted on the weekend that they love my videos and my splatters too. Thank you. If you gotta love splatters to watch my channel, because I mean, is there anything I don't splatter? So here, making it super simple for you guys, I'm keeping the same color scheme going, and you can use any of the 3 colors that you use on this card, or 4 colors or 5 colors. You can make as many stripes as you want. It's your card. I don't judge. So now I have die cut out the happy out of the Night of Navy many, many, many times, 3 times for each card because I want 3 layers, right? So 12 times. And I'm going to use that Aleene's tacky spray because I'm super lazy and I am not going to glue these individually. I'm going to spray them, and then what I'm going to do is put the tacky backing back, the tacky one that's tacky on the back on top of one that's not tacky on the top. And then 3 of them aren't tacky at all. They'll go on the top. You get it, right? So I've totally confused myself here. Now that destatification tool is just a powder puff I had. I trimmed the, I was going to say leaves, I trimmed the feathers and just put some anti-static powder in there. So I can't link them. It's so old. I've had it for a million years. Now here, I'm going to use the itty bitty birthday, and I only really want the word birthday, so I'm not too stressed out about all the other letters and, you know, getting embossing powder on there. But I stamped it 4 times there on the crumb cake, and now I'm just going to get super technical here and pull out those technical scissors and technically cut out this birthday. I'm going to try to eyeball it and keep it as straight as possible, but I'm not bringing out a machine or all that other stuff, my trimmer. I'm just going to eyeball it and do it by hand. So now I've got the happy with the 3 layers, of course, right? And I'm going to just kind of play with it a little bit. Now I want to bring out that silver thread. It is retired, I apologize. I'm sure if you don't have any, you can use some DMC some embossing thread, some embroidery thread, or, you know, anything that you've got in your stash. I'm sure you've got something there. So I'm going to wrap it around my fingers a few times, and now I've got some loops. And I'm thinking, oh, this is so thin. How am I going to glue this? So I resprayed the back of that happy, and I just stuck it on there. And of course, you know, there's a couple tails. I got to mess with them a little bit, but I rather mess with a couple tails than a whole bunch of glue, trying to figure out how to glue this and not have it spill out behind the word happy. I was going to use another word, but I can't use that word anymore. Some of you guys are going to know what I mean, but nevertheless. So I've got out my glue eraser, just because there's a little bit of overspray and I want to just kind of remove that. And you can also use this with the multi-purpose liquid glue, which I've got here in this Doris bottle. I just like that fine tip application, so it's the same glue. I'll link all of those for you guys. And the embossing tray and triangle that I use to scoop, everybody asks about it. That's all linked in the YouTube and on my blog. Everything I use is linked down below. So here, I'm going to stay with the same stamp set for you guys, and I'm just going to do the you're not old, you're just older on the inside. I'm going to do one in orange, one in blue. The orange one is Todd's birthday card, and, you know, I'm so lazy. I'm going to send his brother the other one. I made 4, but I left 2 insides empty because I don't know who I'm going to use or send those to. Now, here's where I realized this blue ink pad is not my friend today. I closed it, and look at this. OMG. I think I used about 6 baby wipes and a whole bunch of alcohol, and I just kept at it, and I kept cleaning it, and my hands, oh my gosh, I was like, I'm going to get this stuff everywhere. Cindy Lynn, you were taking my inky fingers to the next level. Tell me this has happened to you, please, because I can't be the only one. Reds and blues are the worst to get off, so I just sprayed my alcohol on me, and then I went in the bathroom and I used a blue scrubby with some Dawn dish soap. So I wasn't able to get it all off, but I don't worry about it, because when I'm out in public and, you know, I have like awful inky hands, it's a great way for me to strike up a conversation about what I do. So I don't get too stressed about it. Some people do, I get it, but I don't. So I'm just going to use a little bit like a Z there on the inside for the inserts. Not too worried about getting super technical with that. But on the outside, I like to make sure I've got my corners really good. I've got my glue all around. I don't want no dog ears on the front of my card. So I'm going to get those fronts on. Now, here's where I wish I could make some like orange enamel dots with our re-inker. I was thinking about it and I was going over it, and I was thinking about mixing some re-inker in with some liquid glue, blah, blah, blah. And then I thought, you know what, that's getting way too technical. Let's just color up some of these, all the trimmings, embellishments, because those white ones, the alcohol markers stick to them like amazing. So, you know, I would have preferred it be a little bit darker, but at least it's the pumpkin pie, right? We're in the same color family. And then I've got the 2021 in color little enamel thingies there. I'll link them all for you guys. There goes the lid to my pen. I'm sitting here talking to you guys, and I'm waving my hands, and I've got a pen in my hand with a lid on the end, and the lid just went flying. You got to picture this, right? So I'm going to lay all of those down. The other ones were the faceted and the clear epoxy droplets. So just the silver to kind of go in tune with the silver thread, and there you have it. So thank you so much for joining me today. It's so nice to be back. I missed you all so much. And until I see you again, take care and happy stamping.